working. Voice. Minimal ground loop hum. There is one 60 hertz hum from this microphone, and I don't know why. But I got rid of the noise. Let me fucking run you down. First off, Snorker, thanks for the massive gifts. Whoever's gifting in Twitch, thank you. I can't see the viewer number. I can't see the multi-stream. I can't see anything because I've put a new light, which has fixed the autofocus. It's been a couple of days getting this sorted. Do you know what? I went straight from a podcast right here, took all the cameras, one camera and a bunch of lenses and lights, straight here because I couldn't fucking sleep last night because I was thinking about all the things that went wrong yesterday. I don't know why. Financially, it's a money pit. You guys are very nice by subbing and everything. It's very lovely, thank you. But it must be because I love it, because otherwise why else am I like torturing myself with it? The effort to get this set up, I had it set up last week and then I smashed my lens. So then I got a new lens. And then I did all that setup yesterday. I had a bunch of errors with the sync was an offset issue because I unplugged everything, didn't I, in a rage at some point when I stopped streaming. I was figuring all that shit out. And then as I was trying to sort it out yesterday, remember in the old streams we had that hum, which was pretty like aggressive. And I always thought it was the CPU from the streaming computer. Am I right in thinking you can only prime sub once? Yeah, you can. It's also fucking bullshit. So just I don't care if anyone subs, to be honest with you. I appreciate you, but it's not why I'm doing it. By accident yesterday, I figured out what that fucking noise was. For some reason it was coming from my, this is boring shit, Focusrite Octo Pre. Hamad, thank you for the prime sub. Old Man Fortnite also, despite everything I just said. I just accidentally unplugged, because that was only running 3 channels of audio through a Focusrite Octo Pre, like via ADAT. I accidentally unplugged the power, and it suddenly went away, and I was like, oh fuck. So then instead of selling my Focusrite Claret, I've just used that for the extra 3 channels. Neil Hollowcrown, thank you for the sub. So the only thing I do actually have is a tiny bit of ground loop hum from that, but it's fuck, I'll take it. Still sounds good. No delay. The delay was fixed with a 100 millisecond sync offset. It really is a shame to not do this because I challenge anyone else to do it. It's so fucking hard. It's lucky I'm a bit shit at drums, or else there'd be no competition. The competition is actually how bad I am at drums. So today we've only got one camera. The GoPro's going home. We've only got one camera. I'm gonna do some shit. I'm gonna practice. So it might be a bit boring for a bit. I ain't gonna go straight in on songs. I'm gonna practice, and then I'll play some songs. See if I love this again. Love hanging out with you, but do I love all of the setup? But the reason I'm back is because I do have someone coming in to share the room with me at some point next month. They're going to take a little corner, the squat rack's gone, they're going to take a corner which is going to take a chunk out of, it's going to take a quarter off of the monthly. There is actually a cymbal tree next to me, yeah. I've got the cameras, so I'll figure out what to do if we do come back to doing this, and I'll have 3 cameras. I tried the cymbal tree behind me, guys, in my 3-hour setup of what looks good on camera, separate to yesterday's 3-hour audio setup, and it looked shit behind me. It was just too much stuff. But there is. Like one of those things that you see. One of those things you see in a drum shop. Also, this currently isn't graded. This is just this lens S-Log3 Raw Dog. So that's a nice reminder, actually, Hamad, that I need to do this to take this footage home. Yeah, this is S-Log3 Raw. This lens is crazy. It's a fucking Sony G Master thing. Lola, thank you for the compliment and the sub. What I need to do is hold that up. Hi, Craig at home. Oh, I need to record it. Hi, Craig at home, addicted to content and editing. I know you're editing 8 podcasts, but can you grade this, please, and do the white balance? Thanks. If you're watching this on YouTube, I haven't got the YouTube chat up, but if you do give me money on YouTube, then I'll make the jump to talking to you instead. Problem is, historically, people who haven't paid for my attention are horrible to me. Do you want to see? Well, I guess you're gonna have to see my new warm-up, guys. I haven't got a foot cam to show you currently. That's a bit annoying. I'm working on burying the beta. I'm working on actually playing the kick drum properly. I'll show you exactly. If you're watching this and you're trying to get better at your kick drum stuff, I'll show you exactly what I'm doing. I'll tell you what I'm doing as well. Let's do a little. I'm still recording. Fuck. Okay, I noticed that. Haven't got a stream deck either because that's at the studio. And by studio, I mean house. Kill me. I wonder if the Zoom still works. No, I haven't got the Zoom anymore because I haven't got the stream deck. That's what I was just talking about. Okay, so I've been practicing burying the beat. I've been practicing playing the first hit of 2 strokes with my toe and the second one with the full leg, which is apparently how you're supposed to play the drums. But no one told me for 20 years. A lot of drum teachers and none of them told me. So what I'm doing is working through that. Oh, the other issue that we're going to have, guys, currently, again, this is just a test stream, you're going to get some metronome, I'm afraid. Because what I don't have plugged in is another, I'll put a separate mixer. It's going to introduce some more ground loop hum, obviously. So I can route the click to just me, so you're going to get some clicks, so I'm really sorry about that. But what I'm doing is I'm going through the first 8 letters of the Benny Greb language of drumming with my kick drum. I'll talk you through it as I do it. I'm like elaborating on the easier ones just for fun. Then I'm doing the 3s and the 5s from Matt Gasker's single kick lessons. And when I'm doing those, I'm not actually concentrating on going toe, heel. I'm actually concentrating on just keeping the beat really, really buried. So it's what I've been doing. I started this exercise at 120, and now it's got to the point where I can start it around probably 150. You should be able to hear that. It should be quite horrible. Timeout 6666666 seconds. Anyone that mentions the click. Anyone that mentions the click. I'm practicing. Don't want to watch, don't want to click, get the fuck out. Okay, so this is, by the way, Simon, you're okay. You can mention the click being a shitty sound. If anyone doesn't know, if you use a long click noise, like a cowbell, gong, gong, the amount of time that takes to make the actual sound, you're going to be less accurate practicing. Because you could, if gong is that long, you could be here and still technically in time if this is on the beat. Do you know what I mean? So I use Klopfgeist, which is just, I don't know, Ronnie, our sound guy, told me to use it. It's very, very short, very, very staccato. If this goes well, next stream I'll set up the other mixer. I'll have the click. You'll have whatever you want. You guys want fart noises because you're fucking idiots. You can have that. I jest. Okay, so that is number 4 on the Benny Greb kick drum exercises, right? And what I'm doing there is, so it's the 1 EN, 2 EN, 3 EN, 4 EN, and my biggest problem with kicks is going boom, ba, boom, boom, because I try and muscle it out, and nothing comes from the toe. So what I'm doing when I'm doing that one is every other one, so it's 1 EN, 2 EN, 3 EN, 4 EN, 1 EN, 2 EN, 3 EN, 4 EN, right? Every other one, I'm going full leg, 1 EN, full toe, so that when I do the next bit, I'm going to start toe. And it's so alien to me, but it is fucking working. So that, boom, boom, I know it sounds super easy, but something wrong with me. That's the shit that I'm really struggling at. I mean, it's getting loads better now. So that one there where I did boom, boom was full, my toes did the first boom, and my foot did the second boom. Now, I've been playing the drums for 20 years, and that is just how you should do it. It's like I've unlocked something. And I've pulled away the tripod now because my legs are pretty consistent. I did a lot of practice, maybe 2 hours a day. I was using a tripod, guys, set up an overhead tripod, set up above my leg to make sure I wasn't overexerting by lifting my leg too high. You'll also notice I'm sat quite high. I'm determined. I have a 30-minute set on Beartooth, and yes, our sleeping conditions are abysmal, but if I can't play for 30 fucking minutes at full velocity, what kind of athlete am I? And I am an athlete. So, as a drummer, currently in music school, tips for making life not feel like a chore. Which part of life? Tell me which part of life feels like a chore while I practice 4 from the Benny Greb language of drumming, and then I'm going to go into 5, which is boom boom. 2 kicks, 1 E. That probably sounds like nothing to you, but that is the hugest victory for me, to be able to play that at that sort of tempo. It's where my back was fucking up. Whatever's happened has forced me to learn correct kick drum technique. And I feel like if I keep going at that, my feet will be as good as my hands. And when my feet are as good as my hands, it's over for you bitches. So I'm going to do the next one. I'm going to carry on through it. Again, toe heel, toe heel. You know what's interesting though? A little bit of the adrenaline from a live show comes out when you're streaming. That's definitely harder than when I'm practicing it because my body wants to go. I'm a very excited person. I get very jumpy. I like to play to a click. I drink a lot of caffeine. When it's go time, my adrenaline is on fucking maximum all the time. So with the toe heel, am I going to do this with my left foot? No, my left foot doesn't have a problem. My left foot is far better. How much spent for this setup to stream drums in such good quality? Honestly, if you want to include the podcast stuff as well, 20 grand. 9 grand on a credit card, which thank fuck got paid off. And then various extras, lenses, cables. Cables break all the time. I did a podcast earlier on today and a fucking HDMI cable broke. Like an expensive one, like a 40 quid HDMI cable. So I've got to buy new cables. The podcast is going well. If you build it, they will come. Guess what? They're coming. I've got every other week a podcast is coming out until April the 6th. Right? We're good. The issue is I need it to go further than this because I used all the money that I made on Twitch last year, which was a lot of money, to buy an apartment that I can do the podcast in. It's a big fucking mortgage. So the grind is on. The grind is fucking on. The North Lane episode will come out on Monday, maybe Tuesday. Okay, I'm going to go through the second line of the Benny Greb stuff. Again, probably sounds so boring to you. That is such a win. I feel the tension in my back, and now that is a cue to play those two strokes with my toes instead. Whereas before I would just muscle through and my back would fatigue and it would get worse and 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 worse. Am I reading a PDF of Benny's stuff on stream? Nah, I've gone through this book since it came out, so maybe 10 years now. It's just locked in my brain. Okay, so now what I'll do. Also, this is the first time in my life, like, I feel my calves and my shins burning from playing the drums. Also, doing doing the toe heel so aggressively, it's almost like I'm doing that, right? It's not how I'd play in a set. But doing it like that is making it way harder. So then when I come to do, you'll see in a minute, I'm going to play groups of 3. With Matt Gasker, groups of 3 and groups of 5. With a buried beater. They just come a lot easier. Whoever just said, what's the best way to support? Buying merch, yeah. That merch is, I make it all. A place fulfills it for me. And they get 20%, but the rest of it, minus obviously the cost of the item, goes to me directly. So buying some merch is the best way to support me. If you'd like to support me, yeah, thank you. All right, so now, hopefully, I'll do the 3s. And then what I'm doing with this as well, I'm sorry if this is boring, but fuck you, this is what I'm doing. What I'm doing with this is, because another thing that I noticed in my playing is that I would be very good at doing stuff like some patterns on the hi-hat, and then I'd open my body up, which if you don't know, there's a system of your muscles. I think it's called the posterior whip. There's another fucking word that I've forgotten what it is, right? And it's how this bottom side of your body and the top right side of your body, so bottom left and top right, are related in the same way you would throw a ball, right? If you practice all of your kick drum exercises over here, which I'm pretty guilty of as well, sitting over on the hi-hat, the minute you open it up, you throw that posterior whip off and your balance changes. So what I'm doing is the 4 most common patterns that I play in Stray, which is closed hi-hats, open hi-hats, these days a consistent 16th note bell, and then a half-time cymbal or china. So I'll take the 3s and I'll go through all of those, and hopefully it's not dog shit. So, because really, I pretty much jumped the gun. This is the other thing that's bad about streaming, but first stream back. I should have started at 140. The fives felt actually quite hard. I should have started at 140 and went up to 150. And then at that point I would go to 160. I've been working from 130 to 190. What I've also been doing to save time, right? I'm staying on the click speed because they're all around fucking stray songs. Everything's 150 to 200. That's it. So what I will then do is, thank you, Dan, but I'm good. What I'll then do is the guillotine intro at these slower speeds, just to try and clean it up a bit. If you're making mistakes at a song that you wrote and can play live in front of thousands of people, if you're making mistakes playing it slower, then you're making mistakes playing it faster. And it's just getting, it's like if an engine's got dirt in it, it still runs, it just runs a little bit shitty. And that's what I've noticed with my playing. Just running a little bit shitty. And I was going to give up. To be honest with you, I was going to give up. I was like, maybe I'm just getting old. Maybe I'm going to fucking give up. And I was like, no. Because I would love to actually just make loads of money from playing the drums instead of having to do a million other side hustles. So I was like, I'll fix the feet. I'll try and fix the feet. I've been trying to fix these feet for a while, and this is the first thing that's actually worked. Someone says, did you set up the drum mix for this? This is an old Nolly template, and he has requested to remix it. So this is the old stream mix that I had. I set up everything again, and I just changed levels and gain. I'm going to send it to Nolly. He's going to be annoyed, and he's going to fix it. So it will sound even better than this. I mean, I think it's working. But let's see, let's go up to the 160 and I'll do all that again at 160, everything I just did. Christina. YouTube royalty, welcome. YouTube royalty and fellow Seth Meyers, Late Night with Seth Meyers alumni. That's actually getting hard, 160 to go toe foot. The good thing about having so that's my current practice thing that is killing 3 birds with 1 stone. It's making the guillotine intro tighter. It's making my toe heel bury the beater happen, and it's working on me being open on the kit more and being bounced with it. The good thing about it getting faster is the practice gets over quicker. When you're at 140, it takes a while, but by the time you get to that was 160, that was over pretty quickly. I'm also doing this other thing, which I'm not going to do with you guys, which is, I've read a lot about, so basically, obviously everyone in the world thinks they've got ADHD at the moment. Could it be that we all do because of the way we grew up? I read a thing about, also, by read a thing, I mean I watched a fucking podcast about neurodivergent learning. Now, I'm not saying I'm fucking neurodivergent, right? But I definitely have an attention problem. And it's once you've done an extended period of practice, or just once through the thing you want to practice, you sit and you just think about nothing, almost like a meditation for a minute to 5 minutes. And what it does, your brain works through what you just did backwards. You don't realize it's happening, but they've done tests or whatever. Your brain works through what you just did backwards. And then when you sleep that night, your brain works through it forwards. And they don't really know why it happens. But in people with attention difficulty, they found that if you sit after you've done something and you do nothing, I mean, I'm entertaining right now, this is technically not nothing, but when I do my actual practice, it goes in faster, and the rate to success is much quicker. You can learn stuff much quicker by implementing periods of nothing. Yeah, so cool story, bro. As a properly diagnosed autist, this is absolutely true. Is it? I mean, I had a meltdown earlier. I guess that's not the same though, is it? I think we're all somewhere on the... I do think TikTok is fucking poison though for this kind of thing, because everyone just thinks they've got everything, don't they? Also, anyone else who's into a dopamine hacking, cold showers, and you know what else I've started doing, which sucks, gigantic fucking big bag of dicks, is not having a coffee before I play the drums, because it releases dopamine in your brain prior to the act of learning, which should activate dopamine, but you got your spike before practice, therefore the spike after practice is less high and you're less inclined to do it again. I love coffee. I'm never going to fucking stop it. I'll drink a pre-workout and a coffee in the morning. I'll have a coffee after this instead of before it, which is why I'm fucking tired. Alan did a 2-hour podcast before this. I'm on day 25 of working like a maniac every single day. 170. It's going to start getting a bit hairy around here. For the sake of this stream, right, if it starts getting hairy, I'll show you the rest of my practice routine. Instead of just sitting here and doing this for 2 hours, which I would normally do. What are you saying about attention? Play the fucking exercise. Stop diddling around. Not diddling, oh fuck. So, that there, if you've just joined in, that's where I'm doing the toe on the first bar, full leg on the second bar, just to get me used to playing an upbeat toe hit at the end of a bar, which I would never ever do before learning this exercise. Now that felt good and felt like I was activating my shin and my calf, so I'm going to sit on that for a while. And it's going to be boring for you, but it's going to be great for my playing. I'm going to sit on that for a while. The other thing I wanted to say about it, the thing that it also is pointing out in my playing, is that I rush the upbeat 16th note at the end of a bar. And it's all the more noticeable. J Drums, thanks for the sub. Sorry I'm missing these subs, I really do appreciate you, and you will keep me doing this. If I come home from this stream and I get my Twitch stream summary and it's real money, I'll go, oh, I'll do that again. It's noticing that I'm rushing, right? So it's really hard not to rush when it's technically playing heel down for one stroke. Might as well make it more interesting for you. So some of them come really easy to me. That one comes really easy to me. It's just that boom boom, because a bad habit I've picked up at some point is the last 16th note of the bar I will play with my full leg and not my toe. Don't know why, no one picked up on it, including me. Just manifested as playing like a little dead dog. A couple of interesting questions in the chat there. Have I always played the bell outside? No. You're very clever. Is this bergamot that I taste? Yes, it is bergamot. I am playing the outside of the bell. Again, I thought you're not supposed to do that. For some reason, I'm far more accurate on the outside of the bell. That is what she said. And we'll come to that because the second part of my practice is trying to get needful things right. Not only trying to get needful things right, but trying to get it like, oh, this guy's good at the drums. So, the pattern for needful things is horrible. It's even more horrible when you have to add the kicks in and you have to add the snare in. So it's essentially, it's like jazz placement, right? As in like the 3 notes in a row where they are. If you swung it, right? You see many jazz drummers playing like that to play the jazz beat? You ever seen one? Ever seen one jazz? This is not me like picking on you. This is stuff that I notice. Like, why the fuck can't I play this? If I haven't noticed your comments, it's because none of them have been funny, and you really must either try harder or stop. So I was like, well, why don't I just put my thumb on the top, which is what the jazzers do, to get a bit of finger involved. And then I found that led to me playing outside the bell. And it actually, I kind of switch between the two depending on the pattern. But I'm trying to learn needful things outside of the bell and the breakdown of 3 outside of the bell. Just thumb on top. Look at Benny Greb, he plays his thumb on top. Again, he's the best drummer in the world, in my opinion. And I'm entitled to my opinion. This doesn't really work for me. It works for me for blast beats, but playing a lot of that with not a lot of finger in there, that's what she said again, it doesn't really work for me. So, yeah, where was I? What was I practicing? Kicks. That's hard for me. And you can laugh at it if you want. If you're sat at home going, oh, I'm better than that, I can play that. All of my videos out there are unedited. So I am like objectively good at the drums. But how mad is it being shit at that? Like, it's almost like seeing the progress with it is addicting, because I'm like, okay, if I can actually get over this, I reckon I'll be really good. All of the rest of those bars, it's something that upbeat, the last 16th note of the bar, my brain wants to play it with my hip. No. So there, I broke in my concentration, and I thought, oh, this is going better because you witnessed me play it badly slower. Then it got faster, and my muscle memory kicked in a little bit, as well as fixing the dumb, crappy stuff. But then I thought about it, and I went, oh, this is going well, and I made a mistake. And also, the 3, boom, bat, boom, bat, boom, bat, was sloppy, and I thought about that, and then that made me make a mistake coming up. Now, I used to love it when we opened with Guillotine, right? Because if I'd have played it like that in a live setting, fucking philosophical, metaphorical boner would happen. And then the rest of the set, I'd be like, I'm a fucking machine. And then that would, like, push me through the set. On the flip side, if I got it wrong, it would ruin my set. But now what we do, we open with Needful Things. And that is even harder. Guillotine looks harder, right? Needful Things is far harder. It says a lot about your song when Matt Gasker loves the song, right? And he genuinely listens to the song. That means it has to be hard. Come on, he's not listening to lo-fi Studio Ghibli songs like me. So what I didn't do at that speed actually was the 3s and the 5s. The reason that I pointed at you there was because that was when I felt the muscles I never used to feel activate during those parts activating, which meant I was getting good money. And by good money, I mean like that was my reps. Everything was leading up to that point. That was the point when muscle was breaking down in the correct way with the correct technique to be built back stronger to play that better next time. What are we talking about? Being autistic? Because this is starting to sound very neurodiverse. Can anyone tell me why? This is like me being at school. Can anyone in the chat, there'll be someone in the Twitch chat, tell me why I'm doing those 3s and 5s and why I think they will fix a problem in my playing and what that problem is. Am I training on drums with the same idea I do in the gym? Yeah, for the first time ever, basically. That's quite good ASMR, isn't it? Nah, someone will get it. If Ryan's still in the chat, Ryan will get it. There are people that should get this. I'll play the 3s again. I'll play the 3s actually right now at the speed, which it should be a problem. In fact, I'll do everything and I'll end on the 3s and the 5s. And then I'll go on to the next thing. Can't believe none of you got it. All of you, some of you commented, obviously what I'm practicing to get better at. I'm gonna play it. I use my heel on the second kick. Oh, I've got a nice shin pump. A nice shin pump. Nice shin pump. Which means I'm going to get worse at the drums, but I mean it's an hour of actual practice. It's insane that it took me playing the pattern at exactly the speed JJ Metal got it. I don't play kickback on stream because I can't fucking play it. Because whatever happened to my back, or playing, or brain, or whatever, I literally can't fucking comfortably play it. So that's what I'm doing is again, like everything else here, I'm taking it honestly is like, it's almost like therapy for your drumming. You need to look at especially as like a pro drummer, you need to look, it's like, not even therapy, it's like a fucking ayahuasca trip, you know, where it like shows you, if you don't know, the DMT shows you all of your trauma at once, and it is at the same time completely ego destroying, but quite freeing. So I looked at everything that I can't do at the drums anymore, and instead of being like on stream, I'd be like, oh, I'm just not gonna play those songs. I was like, why don't you just, I just had enough, and I was like, why don't you just fucking learn how to play the fucking song again? Whatever's happened has happened. Just figure out a way to make it work. You got people like fucking Daniel Potts in the chat who literally doesn't have any arms playing the fucking drums, and I'm being a little pussy boy that's not playing certain songs because I can't fucking figure out how my body wants to play them anymore. No excuse. So yeah, so the 3s and the 5s, you know, that's the speed of kickback, and that's essentially what kickback is. So whatever is the actual problem with the feet is getting fixed at the tempo on the instrument, part of the instrument in question. Yes, I've got one of those on. You all said it sounded good. I, 'cause 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 Stuff like that's still hard. Not true. Not true, Simon. In Diepig, to make Diepig more interesting, I put a fill in Diepig, which was this. Then on a stream one day, I was looping that fill. The one originally Guillotine had a crossover in it. I was looping that fill and it sounded sick. And then at that point I was like, it just sounds like fucking Arik. Then we wrote the song. Then I messaged Arik. The song had the working title Arik in Prota, because it just sounded like him. And I messaged him, I was like, I sent him the demo and I was like, this sounds like you, and I promise it came by accident. Are you cool if it comes out? Then it came out and in my video, I literally gave him a little tip of the hat. But it actually was an accident. But he is so unique that I felt like I had to say something. It was something like that, right? And then I went home and I programmed it to send to Tom, and I forgot what I'd done. And what I programmed was what ended up being the song. And actually it didn't have a crash on one, and I preempted Will Putney and was like, Will is gonna request a crash every other time. So I figured out a way. It was originally gonna have to go 0-1, and I hate doing that, as you've just seen by the last hour of practice. So I put 4 at the start. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and. But it's weird. Now that was the speed. That Guillotine intro was the speed of the song. Now with a little bit of practice, really, really slow to iron out the creases, it sounded fucking good, in my opinion. If you didn't think it was good, that's the best you're gonna get. All right, from me. So then at this point, I've got issues in Needful Things that I'm also working on. The intro is fine. Probably play the Needful Things intro without a warm up right now. An issue that I'm discovering with Needful Things that I was seeing that would happen live, which I need to actually figure out if I can change this. It changes 2 BPM between the verses and the chorus, and in one verse it changes 1 BPM halfway through. That's just how we recorded it, so it flowed naturally. It is the hardest fucking thing in the world to try and do at a live show when the adrenaline's already there, is to slow down by 1 BPM. And what usually happens, because I practice with a solid tempo, what usually happens is I'll like rush the first beat of the next section because it's gone down 2 BPM, and then that throws my muscle memory off, and then the whole thing goes to shit. I played Needful Things like dog shit on that last tour. So embarrassingly bad that that's what this has all come out of. right into the hardest song pattern I've ever written in my life. 2 BPM tempo drop immediately. So my body is like full anxiety, adrenaline mode. We've got to play this part. And it drops 2 BPM. If it raised it 2 BPM, my body would probably be ready for it. But it fucking drops. It's 140 to 138. In fact, I think it's 3. I think it's 137. 140 to 137. Then the chorus is 138. Then it goes back to 137. So 1 BPM change. And then there's another 1 BPM change to get it back to 130. It's in the middle of a fill. Boom, 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 bam, bam. Halfway through that fill, there's a 1 BPM change. One BPM. So, at this point, I drop the click right down. This is a thing that I found helps me with, do I decide that from the recording stage? Yeah, Will does it. Because we have the song very nicely planned out at one tempo and it's not grooving in certain sections. He's a genius, he's right, that's why the song rules, but it sucks to play. So what I'm gonna try and do is time warp the samples, because we've got samples on that song, so I have to play to a click. And there is legitimate tempo weaves that have to happen. But I think I'm gonna have to try and time warp the samples and keep the whole song at 140, which means the ride pattern's gonna be even harder. But I think the whole song at 140 is gonna feel good. And not the whole song, until the breakdown at 140. I'm also finding keeping my hi-hat on 8th notes on the verse is helping. It is 20 BPM faster than that. It is 20 BPM faster than that song. I'm Smithy with the sub, thank you. 20 BPM faster. And with a 2 BPM tempo drop. So that bit there with the double kicks, it goes up 2 BPM again, or up 1 BPM. Let's try and make it a bit faster. And also, because if I'm trying to get this ride released, I need to get known for my ride bell playing, guys. So what better way, thank you Charlie for that sub, what better way than to have a ridiculous pattern and be able to play it really well. Also, I slept quite badly last night. But like, you've got to times this by the adrenaline of playing to 6,000 people, which is the first Beartooth show, and having slept like dog shit because we're in a transit van. A lot of variables. The other 1 BPM tempo drop is there. Halfway through that fill. Then the breakdown. Thank you for that Prime sub blank ammo. It's all very well and good getting it all the way through at one tempo, but as I just said, the tempo changes are crazy. This is getting closer to the actual speed. Every time I rush that, The song is absolutely relentless on the drums the whole way through. For me, anyway. The worst is you get over it, overexert yourself in the breakdown, and then you got to lock in with neck, listen to the click, listen for the 2 BPM tempo change, get rid of the adrenaline, dump the adrenaline you just had from the breakdown. I just want it to be good. Not only good, I know, right, when I play it bad, sorry, it clicks on. When I play it bad, Gutter Rain, thank you for the sub. When I play it bad and the whole band's playing, no one really notices. But I like to play the drums. I like what it feels like to get stuff right. I hate what it feels like to get stuff wrong. So that was 130, right? The song is between 140 and 137. So if we go to 137 now, the verse is, this is the speed of the song. I'll also play the intro at this speed because it'll be hard for me to play at 3 BPM slower. Couple of sloppy bits, right? But it's better. Now, if we take that ayahuasca trip, and we really look at it, missed a couple of ride bells, rushing a couple of kicks, but not bad, not by any means not bad. So what we're going to do, someone just said, good reminder there, take a little break. Let that sink the fuck in. Little sinkers. We listen to the band next door. I'm enjoying this. Sushi drummer, thank you for that gift. Just got a DM from Phil Collins' son saying, man, that snare drum sound. Now, coming from him, I'm not surprised if he knows a good snare drum sound. That's very nice of him, isn't it? Who's on YouTube? We've got a couple of YouTubers. Sushi drummer with their own sub as well. That's very nice of you. How many people are watching on YouTube? I want to know. I feel like my heart is in some YouTube activity, guys. 120 people on YouTube. That's pretty good, isn't it? Are you all subs? I should probably have a little look. Let me go into the YouTube chat and we'll have a little look, see what everyone's saying. If it's fucking a shit show. Oh, we've got Dragon Neck in the chat. Dragon Neck, I was literally just pretending to lock in with you. Well, everyone's quite nice here, aren't they? Simon's doing his bit in the fucking chat. I haven't seen one really, really bad... Well, that's quite nice. Let's make YouTube a nice place. I'm more of a dom, to be honest, but I still subscribe. Listen, I had this chat earlier on a podcast, right? I'm pretty dom, okay? Not to get sexy, but you know, it wouldn't be a stream without getting sexy a little bit. I'm pretty fucking dom, I'll be honest with you. It's up there. But if I'm in a manic downswing, oh, I'm literally, punch me in the face and peg me. Like, it's a real thing. I'm sexually bipolar. And Johnson for all. And Johnson for all. What a fucking song. Again, they're rushing. I feel the rush. I wonder if there's a drug I could take to rush less. Don't say weed because it makes me rush more because I get anxious. Alcohol, rush less. Trying to get rid of some of that dependence on alcohol. The snare is a copperphonic. Beta blockers, that's the one thing I haven't tried. And I do have them. I am prescribed them on occasion for being mental. Shall I suck down a beta blocker before the next drum stream and we'll see, and you can tell me if it makes me play better or worse? Nah, I tried Zans, doesn't work. Is this a TOS? I don't care! I got a new thing, right? Before I'll try to play this at 140, and then what I might do, because I want to put this stream up on YouTube for a watch along for people. I might stop the stream and then restart it to play along with the track, because I don't want it to get copyrighted. But my new thing, I might get my TikTok to 10k. It's on 6k. Right, I don't really care about it. I hate the platform. I think the platform's bad for society, and I think the way it's been monetized, it's made the shift to ad-based way faster than MySpace or Instagram or Facebook did. So it's going to die sooner than those. I want to see how much someone will buy my verified account with 10,000 followers off me for. Purely because it would really, really make me know how bad the state of the world is. But imagine if someone gives... You know what? I put up a fake tweet about it yesterday. One small band, one small record label, and 2 other people asked to buy it. And were serious. Between £250 and £1,000. So if I get it to 10... if I get it to 10 and I sell it for 10 grand, you bet your fucking ass, I won't name who bought it, but I will just disappear off TikTok, and then I'll make a video about how I sold a TikTok account for 10 grand and how that's incredibly bad for society. Ooh, I got that calf burn. Yes! Yes. Right, 140, which is actually faster than the song needs to be. But we're going to figure out what speed it feels good at. last 10 minutes on my DMs, I had Eddie Thrower say that's a nice hoodie. That man's very stylish, and I made this hoodie. This is a blank. This is not a blank. This is a custom hoodie. Oh fuck! Sorry. And Phil Collins' son saying it's a nice snare sound. Well, that's nice, isn't it? It's nice to be nice. Can you please be a guest on drum with Mike and Eddie? I've already done it. It's already been done. And it's released. It's already an episode. It's all there. All of the goods are there for you. The bit where it drops down to just me and Dragon Neck, the bass bit. Cohen! I can't believe it. If anyone doesn't know, D4 there, Cohen, Matt Hafey's mod and friend. I met him the other day. I did just a normal hello. Didn't know who he was. Then he was introduced as who he was, and then we had a lovely little hug. It's always nice to meet people from the internet in real life. But what I need from everyone is to tell me, introduce yourself as your Twitch name, and we are golden. I have never clicked on someone's profile on Twitch ever in my life. Okay, so the bit where it drops down to me and Dragon Neck, where also, as well as there being a 2 BPM drop, I've got to lock in with Dragon Neck, who TBF is fucking tight as fuck. But he's going to be trying to lock into me. If one of us is off, it's going to throw me off. So that bit needs hammering. What do I think about Eddie switching to Ludwig? I get it. From what I know, right, I think the thing with Tama that's hard, is difficult as an artist, is unless you make yourself known to America and Japan. I'm not saying that Eddie didn't do this, but like, unless you like know those people, that's not why Eddie did it. I think Eddie did it to be different because no one's playing Ludwig other than Art Cruz. I can't really think of anyone who's like young playing Ludwig, and it's cool. They make fucking cool drums. But like for me personally with Tama, I was gonna leave. And it was just because I didn't have any relationship with actually like, not that I don't fucking super appreciate the UK people, but like, if I needed something, it had to go through 5 different people. And then I was gonna leave. And then I met the American guy and he was like, oh, you're doing what? What do you need? In fact, he just hit me up the other day saying, do you want another snare drum? Yes, I do. Sam Gample. The guy's a fucking legend. A few months ago, I saw you at a venue in New York. It was for video games and competing. Should have said something. Sorry. The light is looking fucking insane, and I need to take a fucking photo. What's going? Is that flickering for you? Is that a shutter speed thing? Craig, a few months ago I was at a venue in New York. It was for like video games and competing. Should have said something, man. Love you, working straight from the path. Big fan, much love. Oh, that bar was sick as fuck. It was right next to my hotel. There was like people playing Dragon Ball Z. All right, it looks fine, good. That bar was fucking awesome. I'm definitely going back. Oh, you should have definitely said hello. Next time, say hello. What should I do? Should I end this stream and then try the song? Like, end it and then put it back on. It's definitely not flickering. The light is flickering on my screen. I wonder if that's a refresh rate issue. When will we see the Relentless ride? When can you buy it? I don't know. It was in Chinatown, that place. I can't remember what it was called, but it was fucking awesome. This is my ride, which will hopefully come out. I don't know if it will come out, but I hope it will. It was designed to be a bell, a ride with a big bell that's heavy on the bell, but you can crash it, and it has absolutely nailed it. As a result, the bow is not like the best bow in the world. It's not terrible, but I barely play the bow. Has anyone got any questions before I end the stream to start the stream again to try and play the song? I just want these to be two separate files on my YouTube so I can just upload one of them without touching it, essentially. I'm also killing time until 6 o'clock because traffic's going to be fucking mental. The ride is a 21, guys. It is a 21-inch ride. How many mics am I using? 11. Everything's kind of spot mic. I'll tell you what though, that's definitely going to be out of phase. I've moved that. Probably better. Ever got a deal for some space pedals? I need to figure out fucking real pedals first. It's in the player, right? And I ain't got it. So I've got to fix that first, and then I can look at the Spacey McGee. Man, I'm getting the itch to get a Tama kit. I love this kit. Apparently they're discontinuing this finish, which sucks. Whoever said earlier, are you ever sliding? I am fully fucking sliding now these days, trying to do this technique. The minute you get to a certain speed, it becomes slide. When I take that grip tape off, yes, it's grip tape. If I took that grip tape off, I'd probably be better, but the reason for the grip tape is not to keep my grip when I'm in here. It's when I go to stage and someone spilt a beer and then I step on the beer and then I get on the pedals and I cannot fucking play them because they're slippery as fuck. Health question, any exercise you do to reinforce your wrists? Honestly, I don't have, touch wood, I don't have any problems with my wrists. My spring tensions are medium now. I used to be full. I'll tell you what you should get though. Do you know what a TheraBand is? You should warm up with the TheraBand. It's a rubber stick. I've got one in here. I can't be asked to go and get it though. It's a rubber stick. Looks like a dildo. And physios use it. And basically, you grab one end of it like that and one like that, and you just twist it. It's rubber. It's really hard to twist. And then there's another one where you do it that way. There's like specific exercises for wrist tendonitis. And tennis elbow is the big one, yeah, which is why I have it. I don't get any injuries from drums other than my back, which is through poor performance and having previously broke it. And then the only other injury I actually do get is I get golfer's elbow from going to the gym too much. It's just, I know how to fix that. I foam roll it, foam roll my triceps and it gets rid of it. Currently dealing with some of that right now, but it doesn't affect me at the drums at all. Any other questions? It's called a TheraBand, T-H-E-R-A-B-A-N-D. Any musician you'd love to go to the gym with that you haven't yet? I'd really like to go with Matt, like with friends and everything, but we'd just always do a podcast or something. Thomas Lang. I was speaking to Kaz Rodriguez yesterday, who shares a room with Thomas Lang. And apparently they've been getting on it together, going to the gym, or they're planning on doing it. And I'm like, fuck, that sounds like so much fun. Just going to the gym with Thomas Lang would be so sick. Plus, he could do Arnie impressions. Imagine being as good as him. Now I'm worrying that I haven't done enough practice on my feet. Got a YouTube subscribe from Nightmare Film Crew, which is Dragon Neck's production company. Very good, check it out. TheraBand Flex Bar, that is the one, yeah. Might try and burn out my foot a little bit more. No, I'll play the song first and then I'll burn out my foot. I'm going to end this stream, right, but stay where you are. Because